I got here on time.
Good evening. I'm calling to order the special meeting of the Board of Education. Today is Monday, May 19th, and we are meeting at the Fordyce Building. Would you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Lysy.
Here.
Mrs. Sudar.
Here.
Mrs. Thomas.
Here.
Mrs. Van Ho.
Here.
Mrs. DeAngelis.
Yes.
All members are present.
Thank you. Do we have any additions, revisions, deletions from the agenda?
Yes, we have several revisions. They've been submitted to you. A couple of them are in the packet, a couple we added late here. But they include number 9, certified personnel, 1314. Item 12, certified personnel, 1415. Item 13, certified personnel rehire, 1415. Number 14, rehire of regularly employed tutors. And number 15, administrative appointments and contracts.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions relative to the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on then. We have some recognitions, and I'll be turning it over to Mr. Bell. But I do ask that everyone stay until the end of the recognitions. It really doesn't take a long time, but it's rather disturbing when people are popping up and leaving, and the poor camera lady in the back will catch the back of your head. So we just ask if you'd please bear with us and stick around for that part of the agenda.
Thank you, Madam President. Members of the board, I'm just going to go over to the podium over there.
My job?
Madam President, members of the board, and all of you who are here, we're very, very excited about our students and their accomplishments. And tonight, we have 4 different groups of students that we're going to recognize. I'm going to begin with the Buckeye, American Legion Buckeye Boys and Girls State. And what I do is I'll read the resolution to the board, they'll vote on the resolution, and then I'll call the students up to be recognized individually. So, whereas the American Legion Buckeye Boys and Girls State will be held this summer at Bowling Green State University for the boys and Mount Union College for the girls, and whereas these students are sponsored by the Euclid American Legion, post number 343, and the American Legion Auxiliary, and whereas students who participate learn about city, county, state government through hands-on operations of our democratic process and government organizational government organization of political parties. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Euclid Board of Education extends congratulations to the following 11th grade students who have been selected to represent Euclid High School at this year's Buckeye Boys and Girls State. Madam President, members of the board, I ask for consideration for this resolution.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. DeAngelis. Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Sudar.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Ho.
Yes.
Mrs. DeAngelis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. I'll call the students up, and we'll have you all stay up here. And then we'll also ask the parents to, we make sure the parents are recognized also, because we know it begins with you. We'll have you there too, and recognize the parents also. The first student is Kyle Johnson. Christopher Mabel. Jordan Washington. Grace Holtzheimer. Grace Holtzheimer. Okay. Nicole Hughes. Eleni Lovett. like the parents of these students, if you could please stand also,
And grandparents.
and grandparents. Just want to let you all stay right there. Just let you all know we're very, very proud of you and appreciate your work and look forward to great things. Madam President.
And I've been waiting all these years, I'm still waiting for a state office holder there. So you get to run for an office, governor, state senator, state rep, so Supreme Court justice, that would be good. And then you can come back and tell us all about it.
Absolutely.
And enjoy it. My children got to go, enjoyed it thoroughly. Okay, good luck.
Congratulations.
Madam Chair, if I could just add one thing. My daughter went last year. You have to bring dress-up clothes, okay? Appropriate dress-up clothes, okay? So you are going to be running for different offices in the state government, and you want to represent yourself well because you will be voted on by your peers. It is a wonderful experience. You're going to meet new friends that will last a lifetime. So congratulations, and I'm so happy. You're going to do great.
Thank you, Mrs. Lysy. The second recognition that we have this evening is for the state indoor track. And again, it'll be the same process. Whereas the Ohio Association of Track and Cross-Country Coaches sponsor an indoor championship state meet at Akron University on March 8th, 2014. And whereas the athletes with the top 25 performances in each division by event are invited to participate, in the top 16 of that group then qualify for the final round. And whereas Euclid High School indoor track members Jeremiah Peters, Brian Lee, Maximilian Kellum, Ray Anthony Brewster, Harrison Roberts, Nick Taylor were in the top 25 and qualified to compete in the preliminaries. And whereas the following results were, and these were the results from their events: Jeremiah Peters shot put 3rd place with a throw of 58.1, Maximilian Kellum 400-yard dash 9th place with a time of 51.67. Also, Mr. Kellum, Ray Anthony Brewster, Harrison Roberts, and Nick Taylor in the 4x400 relay team placed 10th with a time of 3 minutes and 29 seconds, .68. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Euclid Board of Education extends congratulations to these athletes for their outstanding sportsmanship, which has brought recognition to themselves and to the Euclid City School District. Madam President, I ask for consideration for this resolution.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second.
Second.
By Mrs. DeAngelis. Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Ho?
Yes.
Mrs. DeAngelis?
Yes.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Mrs. Sudar? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. I will introduce the students. Jeremiah Peters. Max Kellum. Ray Anthony Brewster. Harrison Roberts. Nick Taylor. Just want to let you know, very, very proud of you and your teammates. You guys have brought recognition not only to yourselves but to the school district. Appreciate your efforts and the practice and all of the time it's taken to do what you've done. So thank you for that. Parents of the two students, would you please rise to be recognized? Congratulations.
We just want to thank you and keep up the good work in your future endeavors. College.
So where are you going?
I'm going to Coffeyville in Kansas,
Okay. And majoring in?
broadcasting and criminal justice.
Okay. Very good. Congratulations.
I'm going to University of Cincinnati. My major is neuroscience.
Very good. The third resolution I want to read begins with it's the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, sponsors the Afro-American Cultural, Technological, and Scientific Olympics, which is the ACT-SO, It's a year-long achievement enrichment program that's designed to recruit, simulate, and improve and encourage high academic and cultural achievement among high school students of African American descent. And whereas the ACT/SO program centers on the dedication and commitment of community volunteers and business leaders to serve as mentors and coaches to promote academic and artistic excellence, and whereas the program is intended to be a learning experience with a focus on enrichment and mentorship with students working with the ACT/SO mentors to help them develop projects throughout the year, as well as provide students with enrichment opportunities, and whereas this program conducts a local competition with 27 categories to showcase the hard work students have put in all year long, and they receive medals and prizes by local and regional sponsors and contributors, and gold medals eligible to compete at the national level. And whereas Euclid High School students recently competed in this competition at Warrensville High School in the areas of dance, drawing, painting, sculpture, vocals, and poetry. And we had several students that placed. Savannah Quisenberry was gold in painting, silver in drawing and sculpture. Taza Price was gold in dance. Robert Hennings, silver in painting. Kevin Terry, bronze in vocal contemporary. Casey Johnson, bronze in drawing and painting. Sierra King, bronze in sculpture. Chamari Johnson, bronze in poetry. And Miguel Watts was a participant in poetry. All of these students did a great job. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Euclid Board of Education extends congratulations to all of these students for their outstanding achievements and the appreciation of Mrs. Robin Hopkins, who was the sponsor. Madam President, I ask for consideration for this resolution.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second.
Second.
By Mrs. DeAngelis. Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Van Hoen.
Yes.
Mrs. De Angelis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Mrs. Sudar.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. We'll call the students up. Savannah Quisenberry. Tasia Price. Come on up there. We have a new student. Robert Hennings. Kevin Terry. Very proud. Casey Johnson. Sierra King. Chamari Johnson. And Miguel Watts. Again, extremely proud of all of you students and appreciate your efforts, and I know it took a lot of practice and time, so we appreciate all of you. Madam President?
I'm just interested in knowing, are you going to pursue art or dance or any of the other? Good. Okay, good. All right, I look forward to seeing great things from you.
Very good. Good job.
Thank you.
Last recognition is for our Business Professionals of America State Leadership Conference. Whereas students in Euclid High School Cisco Systems Association and our CIS program participated in the Business Professionals of America State Leadership Conference in Columbus, Ohio. Whereas 6 students in the Cisco program and in the CIS program placed as follows. Aaron Ogden, first place in Systems Administration using Cisco. Calvin Owens, placed second in Systems Administration using Cisco. Jacob Hoggett, second place, Computer Networking and Technology. Colin McLaughlin, sixth place, Computer Networking and Technology. Dan Wenzel and Matt Leiter, sixth place in Network Design. And then we had CIS top 10 out of 1,800 students in IT and business. Grace Brott, Fundamental Word. Kelsey Dietrich was Integrated Office 2010. Mike Feiger was Graphic Design Promotion. And Kayvon Staples, Interview Skills. Whereas Aaron Ogden, Calvin Owens, Jacob Hoggett qualified to compete at the National Leadership Conference in Indianapolis, Indiana. And whereas Aaron Ogden placed 7th in the Systems Administration using Cisco competition, which was a 2-day event where the participants had to qualify on the first day to advance to the finals. And 8th place went to Calvin Owens. And whereas Jacob Hoggett placed 11th in the Computer Networking Technology competition. And this is a test that was based off of network certification, and the process earned a Micro Technology Association certificate. And whereas this marks the 6th year in a row that these students from Euclid High School's Tech Cisco program have advanced to the national competition, winning it 3 times and always placing in the top 10. Now therefore be resolved that the Euclid Board of Education extends congratulations to all of these students for their achievement, and to Mr. Roy Pignatello, Cisco instructor, and Mrs. Lucy Ott, who is the CIS instructor, which has brought honor not only to themselves but to the district. Madam President, I ask for consideration for this resolution.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second.
Second.
Second by Mrs. DeAngelis. Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Sudar.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Ho.
Yes.
Mrs. DeAngelis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
I'll call the students up. CIS means Computer Information System, so if you're looking at what these students do. First is Aaron Ogden. I like that you brought that trophy. You got to be proud of that. Calvin Owens. Jacob Hoggett. They just look like business people. Grace Brott. Kelsey Dietrich. Michael Feiger. Kayvon Staples. Colin McLaughlin. That's a smile. Dan Wenzel. And Matt Leichter. Very proud of all of you, and thanks for being here tonight. Just congratulations on all the hard work. You brought a lot of recognition to the district, and really appreciate that, and look forward to great things from all of you. Madam President.
Do we have any of the parents here who'd like you to stand? Recognize? Not surprisingly, we've seen these students receive awards before, so we're very proud of them. Mr. Pignatello, would you like to come up and just say a few words about your program?
Sure.
I caught him off guard, but you know, he's a teacher, he can always talk.
You know, the Tech Prep program at the high school is really a great opportunity, and it really gives these students a head start in technology fields, especially in the CIS program and the Cisco program, and something that we really need to promote, and that the school board has always been a big supporter of the Tech Prep programs, and it really is an opportunity for our students here at Euclid as part of the Lakeshore Compact. One thing I do have to mention, a little kind of date myself a little bit, but this actually happened last year down at the state competition. There was a movie years ago, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and they were trying to escape, and they were being chased by the Pinkerton guards. And at one point in the movie, Butch turns to Cassidy, you know, because they can't get away from these guys. They're trying all their tricks. And they say, you know, they turn around and they go, who are these guys? You know, because they can't get away from them. So last year when we were down at state and they were calling up the winners again for the different competitions, one of the other people from our region was sitting down front and overheard one guy, one of the other advisors turned to the other one and goes, who are these Euclid guys? And so it was kind of a good, you know, a good thing to hear, because they, you know, we were the only people at nationals that have two students from the same school compete, you know, in the same event. And I think it speaks highly of the kind of work that these guys put in, and you know, the opportunities that this presents for them in the future. Thank you.
And also, just like I said, it also speaks well of you too, so we appreciate it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I just take it.
Hold those trophies up high as you go back to your seat.
Madam President, members of the board, that concludes the recognitions.
Thank you. Okay, now, as I promised, those of you who need to leave, this is your time to exit. But you are welcome to stay for the rest of the program. Okay, we'll move on to our regular business, number 9, Mr. Bell.
Yes, at this time, I'd like to have Sue Maroney to go to the podium to go through our personnel agenda. Mrs. Maroney.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Madam President, members of the board, I present to you item number 9, consider certified personnel 2013-14, and ask for your approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Thomas. Are there any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. DeAngelis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Mrs. Sudar.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Hoen.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Item 10, consider reduction in force, and ask for your approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second.
Second.
Second by Mrs. DeAngelis. Are there any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Hoen.
Yes.
Mrs. DeAngelis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Mrs. Sudar.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Item number 11 is consider certified staff non-renewal of contracts for 2013-14, and ask for your approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second.
Second.
By Mrs. DeAngelis. Are there any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Mrs. Sudar.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Hoen.
Yes.
Mrs. DeAngelis.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Item number 12 is consider certified personnel 2014-15. And before asking for your approval, I'd like to make some introductions. The first
Let's
one.
get it on the motion, on the floor first.
I'm sorry.
That's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second.
Second.
Second by Mrs. DeAngelis. Go ahead.
Thank you. First to introduce is Florence Masella. Florence will be our new curriculum coordinator for the 2014-15 school year. Florence has been a member of our middle school teaching staff since 1999 and most recently served as a middle school math coach. Florence has a Bachelor of Science in Education from Baldwin Wallace and a Master of Education in Administration and Supervision from John Carroll University. In 2013, Florence also achieved the Ohio Department of Education Master Teacher status. Florence is excited to start her new position as an administrator with the district. Florence, welcome. don't have to.
I just want to say thank you. I've enjoyed this is my 15th year in the district already as a teacher, math teacher at Central, and then a middle school math coach. And I want to thank Dr. Smilek and Mr. Manel, as they've been principals of mine, and the board, and Mr. Bell, and Mrs. Miller. I look forward to working with her in the future, and look forward to the opportunities that I will have in the next few years here.
Thank you.
Ms. Barone, members of the board, I just want to just say something just about Florence, and what I really feel good about is the fact that we have our own homegrown people, that we have great people already in the district, and we're able to take those people and give them an opportunity to elevate and shine. And Florence really has done a lot of work on her own without being asked. I talked to Mr. Manel regarding a lot of things that were going on at the middle school that Ms. Masella would do, and just spend time to make sure, because it was always about kids. And when I spoke with her about the position, because we know it's a critical position for us in the district, her whole conversation was about what we have to do for our kids. It was all about our kids. And so I appreciate that. I just wanted everyone to know that really happy to have her. She's earned this opportunity. I'm happy to be able to extend that through the board, to extend that to her. But I also know that our kids are going to benefit from having her as a part. So congratulations.
And now on to our new teachers. Jody Scott, you could just stand there. Jody is Euclid High School's newest intervention specialist. Mrs. Scott comes to Euclid from Charter Lake International High School. Jody studied history and education at Hiram College and earned her master's degree in education from Notre Dame College. She was just recently awarded the St. Catherine Award from Notre Dame, which is a national award given to one graduate student who excelled academically and is committed to social justice. Mrs. Scott resides in Bracknell and enjoys photography. She's excited to be back to traditional education with traditional students. Welcome, Jody. Elizabeth O'Neill. Elizabeth has a bachelor's and a master's degree in speech language pathology from Miami of Ohio and the University of Akron. Elizabeth will be a speech and language pathologist for the Euclid City Schools and is thrilled to be settled and working to improve the communication skills of the children. Ms. O'Neill lives in Lakewood and in her spare time enjoys reading and running. Elizabeth comes to Euclid from PSI Associates. Welcome, Elizabeth. Erin O'Toole. Erin will be joining the 5th grade staff at Chardon Hills Magnet School. Erin has a Bachelor of Arts in Education from Wittenberg University and a Master's in Education from Walden University. Erin is coming to Euclid after 9 years with Richmond Heights and is excited for this new opportunity. Mr. Padley. You may have seen John Padley directing the East 222nd Street Jazz Band or the percussion section of the Euclid High School Marching Band. Next year you will see him teaching Fire Academy students at Euclid High School. John has a bachelor's degree in music education from Heidelberg University and is currently working through his master's program degree in career technical education. Mr. Padley started his firefighting career during college at Allen K. Joint Fire District. John transitioned into education and became the fire instructor for the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. His wife Bridget and 3-year-old daughter Alina live in Eastlake. Welcome, Ms. Padley. And Shannon Banezzi. Shannon is eager to be a part of the Euclid City School District and community as she begins her tenure with Euclid as another new intervention specialist at Euclid High School. Shannon has both her undergrad and master's degrees from Cleveland State University and is currently pursuing a second master's degree which will be in administration. Previously, Shannon worked for Parmadale as a special education teacher for youth services and Summit Academy as a middle school special education English teacher. Welcome, Shannon. And that concludes our new employee introduction.
Are there any family members present that are with our new hires tonight? No, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I do have one more.
Okay.
Not on this, I'm reading lips, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Not on this resolution, it was from last week.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
And Amanda was able to be here tonight. She was not able to be here last week. So we have Amanda Haney. Amanda is our new gifted teacher, correct? For Chardon Hills Grade 5. She has a degree in early childhood education from Bowling Green State University with a 4.5 endorsement and gifted validation. She is 2 classes away from her master's degree, which will be in curriculum and instruction from the University of Cincinnati. Previously, Amanda taught 3rd and 4th grade at Ravenna. Amanda and her husband Patrick live in Twinsburg, and Amanda is ecstatic to begin working with the 5th grade gifted students at Chardon Hills Magnet School. Welcome, Amanda. And that now concludes the introductions.
Okay, any questions or comments? Other than that, we're delighted for all of you to join our team. Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Van Ho.
Yes.
Mrs. De Angelis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Mrs. Sudar.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
And item number 13, considered certified personnel rehire for the 2014-2015 school year and ask for your approval.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second.
Second?
By Mrs. Lysy. Are there any questions or comments? Thank you for providing the board with the additional information that they wanted,
You're welcome.
that we wanted. Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Sudar.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Ho.
Yes.
Mrs. De Angelis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Item number 14, consider rehire of regularly employed tutors and ask for your approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second.
Second?
By Mrs. De Angelis. Are there any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. De Angelis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Mrs. Sudar.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Ho.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
And item number 15, consider administrative appointments and contracts and ask for your approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second.
Second?
By Mrs. De Angelis. Are there any questions or comments?
Just, I don't know if it's a question or a comment. I see that we have all the usual suspects being offered a 2-year contract, which is good to see. But I do notice that we're offering a 1-year contract, which is kind of unusual. Is there a specific rationale behind that?
Yeah,
Or is there any explanation that you might want to
Sure.
give to the board?
Sure, and I sent that to everyone this morning, but just,
For the
you know,
public.
Yeah, just so, what we're looking to do is we're going to be doing some things different with our administrative responsibilities moving forward. And so what this will allow us to do, and John and I have had a conversation regarding moving forward about a change in duties. If you have the contract locked in at 2 years and it doesn't give you the flexibility to do what we might want to do, it also locks us into a particular rate, and if we do something a little bit less, then we wouldn't be able to adjust it. And so John and I have talked about what that might look like, what we might want to do, and so it allows us to be able to do some things a little bit differently. Nothing based off of performance, doesn't have anything to do with that. It all has to do with trying to be able to be efficient and be able to do what we need to do moving forward and be able to craft something that's a little bit different. It gives us the parameters to be able to do that.
Are we talking like a different title? Are we looking at different job description and duties?
A little bit different. It all depends, because what we did this past year was to shape some things at the high school to meet the needs. There may be an additional need for OTES pickup, some of those types of things. Don't really know where that goes. And also looking at what might happen at the high school, being able to have some additional support in other areas. So it gives us the flexibility to be able to do that, and also gives me an opportunity to streamline administrative costs.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
And we didn't all get that email. Just so you know.
Oh,
It was responded to my email.
okay, I thought I
Oh, I got
copied
it, yeah, I
I
got
thought
it.
you got it.
Did you?
I got it,
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought I copied everybody.
I got it too.
Okay, I can resend.
It's in the school email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, any other questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Hoen?
Yes.
Mrs. De Angelis?
Yes.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Mrs. Sudar?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
That concludes the personnel resolutions.
Thank you, Mrs. Maroney. Okay, moving on, number 16, I believe is yours as well.
I have a hard time finding it up there somewhere.
It's all the way towards the end. Oh, you know what, it's not in that one, it's in this other, our original map.
I looked in both and didn't see. Madam President, members of the board, we're looking to, for the YMCA of Greater Cleveland for the summer program, and we're asking for approval on a lease agreement.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second.
Second.
By Mrs. De Angelis. Any questions or comments?
Just want to add just a couple of little things. We're looking at the opportunity to work with the Y to also help with our third grade reading, shaping that summer program to be able to meet a couple of different needs. So we're looking at a different kind of partnership. The Y is already in the buildings for their after-school program, but this is going to give us an opportunity to expand that and be able to combine what they normally do in the summer to address a need that we have with third grade reading. So it's really, I think, a really good opportunity for us and a good opportunity for our kids.
When they develop this, or we develop it with them, can we come back and explain what all they're doing so that we have a good idea of how they're helping our third graders and what they're doing over the summer? I know they've done summer programs before
Right.
with us, so, but I know that we're changing it, so I'd like more information on
Sure.
what they plan on doing.
Let me just give you just a little snapshot. One of the things that Mrs. Miller and I talked about with the number of students that we may have that need additional support in third grade reading was to look at every opportunity we've got, the partnership with the library, with the summer reads. So this is an opportunity for it to really be all hands on deck for us. The kids will be coming for activities, but we're also trying to coordinate with their staff to be able to have some structured time to be able to support reading and be able to support where the kids are. The reason I can't give you specifics right now is we don't know what particular skill set our kids are going to be coming with and where their needs might be. Once we identify that, we'll work with the Y to be able to get supports in place to be able to help them. So that's the plan. That's what we want to try to do and be able to support our third grade reading initiative.
Do they have teaching backgrounds?
The teachers?
The
Yes.
people at the Y?
Yes.
Okay, so they'd be qualified then to do the summer school
Well,
type things?
Part of that will be some of our people that'll be
Okay.
participating in that. So the actual certification piece will be some of our own people that'll be a part of that, and the Y will be doing the activity piece. So we're just trying to join the two of those together.
Okay. Is this the equivalent of what they're telling us we have to do for summer school for third graders?
To some degree, Heather, I'm going to let you go to
Yeah,
the
because
podium.
that's what I was going to ask. Is this what you were describing to us, or is this an additional program that's being offered?
Yeah, go, just go.
Because I thought there's a fee-based, this is a fee-based program, I thought.
Madam President, members of the board, we are offering a summer intervention program for our third graders, and it will be through our staff. And we did have conversations with the Y about partnering with them for that program. At this time, it looks like that won't be the partnership for this school year. We're looking for that in the future, but they are also running a separate summer intervention program at one of our buildings.
So this intervention program is their program?
Correct.
And will we provide staff members?
No.
Not this year?
No.
But will you be in some way guiding them, or not this year?
At this point, it's their program, and it's they've run it in the past for the past, I don't know how many, several years.
Yeah, and last year was at Arbor, right? Yeah,
And this year it'll be at Shoreview.
okay.
Now, and just so the board knows, because with being on the Y board, we've had that conversation regarding and being able to get counsel from our people to be able to help with that. So we're looking at being able to have that conversation. So it may not necessarily be direct, but we want to make sure that we're able to meet the needs of our kids, and we need to have that be driven internally. So that's the idea.
And this is a fee-based program, right? And ours is not, correct?
Correct.
Ours is going to be a program that we provide to the children, and this is something that you pay, like a tuition kind of a
Correct.
fee
But it's strictly through the Y.
through the YMCA.
Mhm.
Can I, this is just an aside, because I've really never heard anything about, follow-up. How is our after-school programs going with the Y in our buildings? Like, are there kids participating that we thought, or?
We have a pretty good turnout.
Is
and it's been a very positive relationship with the Y for that aspect.
Yeah, because that was one thing when we closed the Child Development Center, that we hoped that we would be able to continue to provide services, and so we're doing that for us.
And
Thank
Mr.
you.
Higley, and
It's going to
yeah, it will
expand?
be expanding next year. And
Oh,
Mr.
good.
Higley and Ms. Holtzman and I have had numerous conversations with different members of the Y staff to look to continue that partnership and grow the programs.
Great, thanks.
And one of the things I just want to add to Mrs. Sudar's question is being clear on what our anticipated outcomes were and see if we're actually getting there, because I think that's where she was going with that. So I want to be able to get that to the board so we can get that information, because I don't know offhand what those anticipated outcomes were. But
And we
can
could
get
look
those.
at, have we assessed how the program went last year with Arbor? Have we had any sort of assessment
That's
or any
part of it.
feedback from parents and students who were part of that program and lived in?
The Y program from
Yeah.
last year, they actually turned away kids, so they've expanded their program for this year.
Well,
So they
then
have
that's-
a higher, I don't know how many they have that will, 125. So we don't know how many they'll have register, but it's more than they were even allowing for last year. So, and that's based on need and.
Well,
that's
good,
positive.
because that would, last year we did have a summer program, this year we do not.
Last year's a sports camp at Arbor. They ran their summer program out of the YMCA. And this year, they're moving their summer program to the school because they've outgrown the YMCA.
All right, well, good.
It seems like it's awfully late to come to us to rent the building now.
We've been.
Okay,
Yeah.
just, I was like, say, 3 weeks before school gets out, and then,
No.
you
Yeah, we've been meeting for
parents,
months.
but we now are
We
approving
were
the
trying
contract.
to work out a lot of the details about how their program would work and our program, and if we could integrate or, so that's,
Where will we house our program?
ours will be at Arbor.
Yours, ours are, and there's.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Mrs. Sudar.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Hoen.
Yes.
Mrs. De Angelis.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Madam President, members of the board, that concludes my considerations.
Thank you. Are there any other items to come before the board?
There are none.
Okay. We're at the busy time of the year. We're looking forward to graduation, which is, I forgot what day, June 4th. 4th, thank you. June 4th, and then soon after that is the end of the year on the 9th. So we thank you very much for attending this evening. May I take a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Moved by Mrs. Sudar, second?
Second.
By Mrs. De Angelis. Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Van Hoen.
Yes.
Mrs. De Angelis.
Yes.
Mrs. Lysy.
Yes.
Mrs. Sudar.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
We are.